Hi guys, how you doing? Everybody's good? Well, I tell you, where I'm at right now, it is so cold. It is almost felt, the weatherman said it's felt like minus 17 or 18. I was outside early on and it's cold. Yeah, it's cold where I'm at right now, guys. So what I decided to do, I just decided to do some chicken soup with some backs and some wings and a little mixture. So what I normally do with my chicken, basically especially chicken back when I get it, I just boil up some water, scald it off, I get off all the fat, because I try to avoid all of that fat. And I just wash it down in some lemon juice and lime and salt water, and I just season it up. My pot is going right now, and this is basically it. See? Yeah, I don't want any of that skin or any of that. And chicken back, quick, cook pretty fast. So while I'm putting it in, I'll be cutting up all my vegetables and everything. And what I'm going to be putting in my soup is see, it's started to cook. I put the chicken pieces in before the chicken back, because the chicken back doesn't take a long time to cook. Cooks pretty fast. So right now I like to make my soup. They said West Indian soup is very expensive to make in Canada. My carrots, celery, turnip, chocho, and I'll be using a piece of yellow yam, and this is what we call white cocoa back home. This is so good for you. This is Edo and Irish potato, and I have a little, can't go without your dumpling, and the dumpling consists of cornmeal. If cornmeal isn't in it, I'm not a big dumpling person, but if cornmeal isn't in it, I don't want it, and we're cooking for a few of us. So it's chicken parts, chicken back parts soup, I would say. Yeah, so okay, it's bubbling up right now. So I'm gonna start cutting up my carrots and thing to put in, right? I'm using carrots, chocho, and it's all peeled. So I'm just gonna add it in because it's been, it started to cook. Like I said, I put the chicken that take much longer to cook in it already. So see, it's bubbling right now. Yeah, so and my soup has to have my turnip. Turnip is what gives everything so much flavor. So my turnip, this is just like I'm going up back home. So you know what? So right now I'm just cutting up my turnip, and I put a little bit of celery, not a lot, because celery is very strong and can overpower your dish. So when you're doing it for soup, I don't put a lot in it. I just put, cut up a few pieces when I'm doing soup, and most of it is for my juicing, but it gives you soup flavor. It's just the same with turnip. If you put too much, like you're gonna put 2, 3, 4 turnip in your soup, it will knock it off, because turnip is very strong. So I usually just put 1 turnip, small or medium sized turnip. I love turnip, but you have to know how much to put in certain vegetable, how much to use, because they're very overpowering sometimes if you use too much. So that's basically it. But so I'm using turnip, carrot. Some people call this from Barbados and Grenada, they call it Christophine, but we call it chocho. So a lot of the same thing that we have, but they call different name by different islands. I think that's what they call it in South America too. Chocho. Yeah, because that's where I think chocho originated from. Yeah, so this is my turnip going in. And like I said, chicken back, and doesn't take a long time to cook. So I'm just putting in all my carrots. My pumpkin is in already, because I like my pumpkin to boil out to get all that color, so that's in already. Yep. And the chicken I season up with some lots of garlic, a little piece of ginger, I like my ginger, and a little bit of seasoning sauce, black pepper, and a little bit of salt. So it's seasoned gone in, so it's not just bland. I like to season up my chicken a bit, and when I finish now, I have some thyme and some parsley and my green onion to add to it. So this is it. I keep a few pieces of the celery leaf. It gives us stuff flavor. So along with the celery, I'm just cutting up a celery, give everything flavor, but you have to know the amount to use in what dish. So I was out today, and I just got back, too long ago, and it was so cold. It was so cold. Everybody just running, heading to get home. So it's a low temperature, but it's the wind chill, So the wind chill is like minus 17, 18, and that is cold. Yeah. But there's no snow, so that's good. I prefer when it's cold and no snow around, because then you can just dress warm. So it's chicken soup day, a perfect day for a pot of chicken soup. Yeah, everybody agreed to that. I was supposed to go someplace else today, but it's too cold. Too cold. So it's bubbling right now, folks. See? Yeah. I cut up a few pieces of the celery. Celery is very good, very tasty in your soup. In a lot of dishes. Like I said, I don't want to use too much of it because it can be very overpowering. So I just take out a few pieces to use. That's just a noise from my chopping. I wanted to get almost everything together, so yeah, so I have to have a long, and it's cooking, so when everything go in, it will be cooked, because like I said, chicken back is easy to cook, and that gives you, the reason why I like to use chicken back, because all the bone in it, it gives you soup a lot of flavor, yeah. So if you really want to have your chicken back, really get rid of all the fat, just boil up some water when you have it, and just dip it in there, and it will, also that way it's easier to get off the skin and all the stuff in it, and you're not going to lose any flavor. You're not going to lose any flavor. You get rid of the fat, because I've seen chicken back soup cook already, and it's just the oil is just swimming on top of it, and that is not good for your stomach. Yeah, so you just get a pot of water, boil it up, just blend the same way if you have chicken foot, and you get off a lot of the rawness also. Yeah, so that's it. My last piece of celery goes in. Then I'm just gonna put my chocho on all. So I have a piece of yellow yam also, and a small Irish potato, and Eddos. Eddos, I know Jamaican might not familiar with Eddos. People Jamaican who live here in Canada will pretty much, but back home it is what we used to call white cocoa back home. And most time we never really use that. It always used to feed to the pig or stuff like that. But Eddos right now in Canada is a thing that you cannot buy. It's very expensive, and people love it because it's good for you. Yeah, just like sweet potato, it's very good for you. So the same thing we call white cocoa back home, the one that I don't think people, because I grew up, my grandmother, we never use it. They just boil it, and who has pig, fed it to pig, so. But here it's a big market. Most of it comes from like smaller, like places like Grenada, Barbados, and I think it's big in parts of South America also. Yeah. But chocho is so good for you. Chocho, anything that having a lot of water is good for your blood pressure. It lowers your blood pressure. Yeah, you can also just grate it and drink it just like that. It lowers the blood pressure. My soup, I prefer my soup a lot of vegetable than a lot of all these meat, a lot of all these food. So I like to put in mostly vegetable in my soup. Not a lot of food. Even the dumpling, I'm just gonna put a few out of that because not a lot of people here like too much dumpling, and I had to put cornmeal in it because the white flour, it's a no-no. So I'm just putting in the chow right now. Once I put in everything, it just because, you know, just cook right down, because the chicken, like I said, I started ahead of time. The pieces that, you know, like were much harder than us for chicken back, that will be done in no time. You know, we'll be mashing out in no time. Yeah, that's why I choose that to cook. Yeah, looks good. Smells good too. Yeah, the chicken pieces, they were in there for ahead of time, so I'm pretty sure those parts are cooked. This is the rest of my carrot. I'll just put in the rest of this carrot. Those just 2 medium carrots. Yeah, so this carrot gives the soup a nice color and nice flavor. So my pumpkin is in already, so you can see the color it gave it. What I do when I'm cooking, I always put my pumpkin in, you know, ahead, so because what I want is the color. It boil right out and get a beautiful color. And some of these pumpkin not very colorful, so sorry for the chopping. Almost done. I'm just carrots are so good for you, so I just did 2 large size carrots. Okay. So I'm just gonna cover that down while I'm just gonna cover that. So I'm just gonna do the rest of the stuff. Peel the yam, and you know, the potato don't take a long time to cook. The red skin potato take a lot longer to cook, and that's my favorite. But this one I'm using. And you know what I like in my soup, folks? I'm putting a green banana in there. I don't care what it be. I want a green banana, all that iron in my soup. Yeah. I'm putting in 1 green banana. Green banana is good for you. It has a lot of starch, but the starch that it has is called resource starch. And that starch is the good starch, you know? Not like this, unlike potato. It's the starch in banana and yellow yam is called resource starch. And that's the starch that doesn't go and break down into sugar, you know? This works. That's why it's called resource. It's a starch that go into your body and work. So when you hear people tell you that, oh, you should eat so much banana. Yes, banana is loaded with starch, but it's a good starch. Resource starch. That's the same one that is in yellow yam. The yellow yam is very good for people with diabetic and sweet potato. Yeah. So green banana is top of the line good for you. That is the good starch. You can look it up. If you know, go on Google and Google resource starch and see what kind of food it's in and you know what it does to the body. Unlike the other starches. Also, you know, the body needs starches for sure. You need carbohydrate, it needs sugar, it needs fat, it needs starch, you need all of those protein, but it needs them in limited amount. You know? Because everything in moderation. Everything in moderation. It's bubbling. Okay, I'm not gonna use all of, maybe 2 of these. Just yes, folks, it is cold. The sun is started going around right now because in the winter time, like I'm surprised the sun is still up this time of the day. It's usually gone pretty soon. It will all gone down. I'm just peeling the rest of the stuff to put in, folks. Because like I said, that is going to cook very fast because it was cooking ahead of time already. Yeah. And I cut up everything very small when I do my stuff. Very, very small. I don't, no big chunks or anything. I like my stuff cut very small. Yeah, I'm making everything. It's bubbling. Yeah, about everything that I'm gonna use right here. I'm not gonna use all of the stuff here. Because in soup, it's mostly you need is the most thing you need in soup, everything boiled down. So the part of the soup that is the best part is the liquid, because everything cooked down into that. So when you cook soup and people are asking about they don't get no meat and all of this, there is the liquid where all the vitamin and everything boiled down to. You know, that's where it's at. But a lot of us is so consumed with meat. This is the first time since long. All I've been cooking is just fish and callaloo. This is, I don't remember the last time I cooked some chicken. This is the first time. I'm trying to remember when. So everybody loves callaloo and spinach and okra and all of those things around here. Yeah. So let's see. Wow. See? Oh my goodness. Look. The meat is falling apart already. It's cooked. That's, oh, this thing is so easy to cook. Look at that. So I'm just going to start putting my yams, my potato, and the edibles. And the green banana, everything is cooked cut small, so you know what? That's how I do my stuff. I like everything to be cut very small. Yeah. I don't need any more of this. That's enough stuff there. Piece of yam. Let's see what that then. Oh, I gotta put the dumplings in and put a little bit. That's why I like to keep my kettle, the water boiling, because when you add water to your stuff, it's good to just add boiling water, so you keep the cooking, you know, going. Always have your kettle there ready. And I have my allspice, my thyme, my my green scallion, and a package of Grace pumpkin. Oh, this is beef? No, I need chicken. I need a chicken one. Please tell me that I have a chicken one. Pumpkin. Yeah, or plain pumpkin. Yeah, I have pumpkin, which is good. Just trying to adjust this, folks. Okay, so I have a chicken one here. So I'm just gonna put in the dumpling, wash my hands, put in the dumpling, and just let it simmer down. In 10 minutes, 15 minutes, everything will be Okay, that's the thing. I go ahead and I started cooking the chicken. So I'm just putting some little, what you call, spinach back home. Not the big one, just little spinach. Nobody likes the big ones in soup. Just the little ones here, folks. Spinach. Spinach or whatever I call them. You know? Because like I said, I'm not a big dumpling fan. So I'm going to turn the stove down a bit. Even this flour, I'm not going to use all of it because there's not a lot of big eater for flour. They like it with the cornmeal in it, but nobody loves too much flour around here. Except if you do, like I did some fritters yesterday, or fried dumpling, but the boiled one, no, they don't too like that. Even myself, you know. I prefer to have it in fritters or fried dumpling or festival. Not too much boil. So I'm not gonna put too much in there. Yes. Yeah, I think that's enough, so I'm just gonna let that cook. Putting everything right now and just let it simmer down. I like to take some of the time off. Like that. Okay. I like to take some of it off like that. Yeah. So I put in the flour, all the foods are in. Like I said, nobody wants a lot of flour, so I know back home is, and I put in some allspice, pimento, and this is parsley. I'm chopping, and I'll put some dry, put in my herbs right now too. I'll put in some dry oregano and basil. And as for my onion, I don't like to cut the onions up too much when I'm doing my soup, so I just like to stick them in like that. And the green part I love to use because that adds in a lot more flavor. The green part, a lot more flavor. Okay. Just wash this. Then I'll just get a pot bonnet. And the green ones is the one you put in it because that's the one that flavor. When I'm doing anything else, you do the red one for eat, but for your soup, you know, the green one also has eat, but it has a lot more flavor for your soup. Okay, so I need a little bit of oregano. And like I said, I put early on I put seasoned up with garlic and a small white onion. So that's been boiling. So I'm just gonna add a little oregano and a little basil. And we have fresh we had fresh parsley in it already. I'll put some cilantro in. A little bit of cilantro. And that is fresh, but it's that's in the freezer. I froze that because cilantro perish very easily. You know, when you buy it and bring it home, and if you leave it outside, it get coriander or cilantro, whichever people prefer to call it. Yeah, but it perish a lot faster than broccoli. So when I get it, I just wash it and wash it down with some vinegar and a little bit of baking soda, and I put it in the freezer. Keep it in the freezer. So even though it's frozen, it's still, yeah. So there's my scotch honey pepper. So I'm just gonna put a bit of coriander, not a lot, because coriander is another thing that you have to be careful not to overuse it. Otherwise it could so that's it. You don't need a lot. Yeah, so this is what I do with my coriander when I get it. I wash it, bag it, label it, and put it in the fridge, in the freezer. Because if you keep it there, it just stays in and spoil. So I put some black pepper in there, you know, so it's just gonna simmer down right now. Yeah, I know it might seem like a, yeah, but okay. So just taste to see. Well, I'm gonna add the noodle later on. Tastes very good. I don't put a lot of noodle though in soup. Just make your soup very thick. Okay, folks, so it's just simmering down now. So pretty soon we'll have a nice bowl of chicken soup. Perfect day for it. I'm just putting away the rest of my flour, wrapping it and put it away because like I said, it folks around here don't like a lot of flour included, boiled flour included myself. They just like the soup. And all the vegetable like the, you know, the chocho, carrots, turnip and stuff like that. And you know the yellow yam too, but not as much dumpling. And the soup. So what I do with the rest of the flour, folks, I just put it in saran wrap, stick it in the freezer. But if I'm gonna cook again, I take it out at a time and it's still good to go. Nothing goes to waste. For sure. Well, you know, no matter what, you have to put a little piece of butter for flavor. So it's just simmering down now, folks. It's getting dark at 3:55, 4 o'clock. The sun is gone, so that's winter for you. That's the time when wherever you are, the earth moves, they say move further away from the sun. So they say. Well, you know, in Jamaica, the sun never too far away from Jamaica. That's what I love. You know? I wish I was home right now, you know? In Jamaica or Trinidad or any other part that's hot, include Africa, the sun never leaves them. I wonder why, you know? Because folks are blessed. Those islands are blessed. Those warm places, you know, are blessed. And that's where the Creator put us. Where it's nice and warm. But you know what? Because of circumstances, you know, we have to choose to do what we got to do, right? Yeah. But we always, home is never too far from our mind, you know? Not just Jamaica, but all the other islands, people that are here, everybody that are here. Home is always close to our heart. Yeah. So it's bubbling up right now, folks. Get a little of the steam out. Or I'll just, no, I forgot. Too much noise. I'll just open the window. 1 minute, folks. Okay, I open the window. I am gonna have I have some noodle here in a package, and like I said, I don't use a lot of noodle in soup because I flavor it with herbs. So I had this whole pack was gonna open, but I find this half a pack, and the soup tastes very good already. So I'm just gonna add this half a pack to it. You know, yeah, because I mostly, you see, herbs in my soup. In anything I do, mostly herb and very little you know, stuff, you know, lots of noodle and stuff like that, you know. And you know, I taste it, and it's have because I season up the chicken before. Yeah, that's why I like to cook my soup. After I wash it, I season it up with all the herbs and some spices on it. So you know, it doesn't need a lot right now. And I taste it. I even had a little piece of butter to it for flavor. So let me taste and see. It doesn't need a thing more. That noodle was just enough. I don't need this one. No, I've seen show that, you know, some people love the noodle. I see people doing soup, you know, even the same size pot as this, and 2-3 packs of noodle in it, you know. But as they say, to each his own, right? So that's it. But you cook with a lot of herbs in your meat and stuff, and less noodle, and less I love this powdery seasoning, you know. Herbs are very good for you, just like fruits and vegetable. So I think basically just winding down right now because that's why I like to do I prep my stuff ahead of time, because if I didn't put the chicken on to cook ahead of time, and the chicken back too, because I scald it off, so the boiling water sort of give it a little, you know, push ahead here. And like I said, that's the best way to get rid of it. The same with oxtail. I'm cooking oxtail when I get it, because on these meat they have you know, some, you know, bacteria or whatever. When you get the meat, oxtail is one that, you know, you boil up some water and just put it in there, and you would be surprised to see the amount of fat that flows to the top. Then you just take it off and wash it with your lime and lemon and season it up, you know. And no, there's no taste taken away from it. It just tastes just as good. You get rid of a lot of that bacteria and stuff that's on it, you know, and fat. Yeah. So there you go. So I'll give it another 4 o'clock now, and you know, it's just simmering down because everything looks very good. And like I said, no more, doesn't need a lot of and it tastes very, very good. It's all well seasoned. That's why when, you know, I see a lot of people, well, everybody cooks different. When I cook, I see people cook their soup and just throw the meat in, just like that, you know, and not very good. So I'm just getting plates ready to just always season up your meat a bit when you're cooking soup, and then you had your scallion and thyme and everything afterward, because that's why my soup tastes with so much flavor right now, you know. It tastes good. That's how I cook. I learned that from my grandmother, and not even my mom, my grandmother I spent most of my time growing up with. Yeah. She was, you could say, she would be the Martha Stewart of her time back home. Those folks could cook. Look at that, folks, and there's a pepper. See? The meat is so soft. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah. And because I cut the stuff very small, that's how I cut when I'm doing things. Even the yam, see? Yeah, because I cut it very small. And the banana, the fork goes straight through it. So, This is pretty much ready. The Edo, wow, it's falling apart. So folks, this is very much ready right now. You know, yeah. When you cook and your stuff is very small, you don't have these big chunks. Like not many people, but you know, you don't have these big chunks of yam, or you cut your stuff. Well, everybody do their own thing how they like it. So that's the thing right there. That is, wow. So folks, that's chicken soup right there. Wow. Yep. There's a lot of food in there, so it's okay. I'm just gonna plate it now. Plate up. You see? There's a wing. So you know, I put different parts along with the chicken back because I have some cut up chicken was there, so I just added those. And there's my yam. I'm just gonna, because this stove, when you turn the heat off, it still keep going for a while, you know. So if you have something on it that you don't want to get too soft, you take the pot off. But I'm just gonna leave the pot on there to keep simmering. And maybe I should take it out because the stuff is falling apart. So I'll put the pepper on top. So there's the Edo and the banana. Yeah. And that starch from the banana, give it, see, I cut the banana very small. See, that's the banana there. So that's why everything cooks quickly, you know. So I'm just gonna use my blade and add some some sochu. This one is just for display, folks. Because in mine I won't be having any dumplings. Not a dumpling person. So this one is just gonna be filled for display. So folks, that's chicken soup basically. I should just say chicken soup, right? Can you see it, folks? That is a nice plate of chicken soup on a very cold day. Doesn't that look good, folks? Yeah. That's it. So it was just chicken soup with carrots, turnip, chocho, celery, yam, Irish potato, and Edos. And for people who don't know what Edo is in Jamaica, it's cocoa, but it's the white one. It's mostly come from other islands in Guyana. Okay, so folks, there it is. Nice bowl of chicken soup on a very cold day. Bon appetit. Okay, folks, please like, share, and do subscribe. Okay, thanks. Have a good one.